I destroyed my belief system, and that single-handedly got me to being 10% body fat, because instead of just like kind of, looking at my environment and kind of looking at the physique that I had when I was 220 pounds, I was, wallowing in my sadness and thinking, oh, I never have the potential to get to 10% body fat. I never have the ability to get super lean. I started looking at that and I started saying, okay, all the cards are against me right now. What am I going to do in response to that? Right? Everything is pointing towards the fact that I'm never going to get lean. Everything's pointing towards the fact that I don't have the genetics for it. Right? When I was 220 pounds, I had rolls hanging over my stomach and onto my pants. I didn't have any separation of my shoulders, any bicep veins whatsoever. I said to myself, you know what? I don't have the ability to get lean. That's it. I'm screwed, because I look at my body right now and I say, okay, you know what? I see a fat guy, a 220 pound guy with man boobs and a big waist. And I say, okay, I'm never gonna get lean. But that's the biggest trap that you're falling into, is because you're looking at where you are right now and you think, I have bad genetics. I don't have the ability to get lean because I look terrible right now. My body fat is so high. My genetics are so bad. In reality, the reason you think your genetics are so bad is because you have yet to see your potential. I thought my genetics were so bad. I looked at everyone around me. I looked at the guys on social media who had insane physiques, and I said, why not me? Right? Why do all these guys have amazing genetics? And I look at myself in the mirror and I think, damn, mine suck. I have no potential. I have no way to get to 10% body fat. When in reality, these guys looked the exact same as me when I started my fitness journey. They weren't in exceptional shape. They didn't look amazing when they were out of shape. No, but they prioritized themselves. They put their best foot forward every single day, and they made their genetics good. Your genetics aren't bad. You just haven't maximized your genetics and actually put it into potential and gotten that physique result, because you haven't been able to do everything right up until this point. You have better genetics than you think you do, right? And these are the limiting beliefs that you need to shatter. You need to believe that you're capable of first getting a great physique. You need to believe that you can get in shape, right? You look at yourself in the mirror, I'm over 200 pounds, I'm 25% body fat. No, you have the potential to build an insane physique. You just have to be maximizing your genetics. You have to be putting your best foot forward. You have to be very calculated. You have to put your best foot forward every day. Be super intense with your workouts. Be super dialed in with your meal plan. Do your cardio every day, and you will maximize your genetics. It's not over for you. You don't have this like genetic predisposition that's causing you to be out of shape for the rest of your life. You just haven't maximized your genetics. These are things that I struggled with for a long time. I used to think that I just didn't have the ability to do it. And then I just started acting. You know what? I told myself, I'm going to pretend that I have great genetics. I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and be like, I have the best genetics in the world. I'm going to put my best foot forward every single day, pretending that I have good genetics, and just see where the result got me. And I went from 220 pounds and I got ripped. Over 40 pounds lost, got down to 180, and then I got down to 170. I lost so much weight and I made my genetics good. I ate my ground beef and rice every day. I did my cardio every day. I worked out 4 to 5 times a week. I made my genetics good because I was optimizing them as much as possible. Genetics are just an excuse that you tell yourself in your head. Oh, I don't have time. My genetics suck. I don't have the ability to get ripped. Those are excuses that you put inside your mind because it's uncomfortable to change. It's uncomfortable to put yourself through a deficit. It's uncomfortable to do your cardio and to work out every day. You think it's super hard and you think you're never going to get the result, when in reality, you have to put your best foot forward every single day, and you will find that your genetics are not as bad as you think. If you told me 2 years ago that I would be sitting right here with 10% body fat on my body, a skinny waist, a shredded six-pack, bicep veins and striations on my arm, I would have told you that you're lying. You have to believe that your potential is more. You have to believe that just because you're surrounded by people who are out of shape, because you're constantly surrounded by your family who's telling you to not eat clean, to eat exactly what they're eating that has caused them to be out of shape, you have to believe that you're made for more. You have to believe that you are put on this earth and you have the ability to develop an even better physique than you have right now. You have more capability than you can possibly imagine, but you haven't tapped into it. You haven't gotten to a place where you have fully maximized your inputs every single day to the point where you make your genetics good, right? Screw bad genetics. It doesn't exist. You have the ability to maximize the genetics that God gave you, right, in the body that you were born with, and make it something special. But it starts with first believing that you have the ability to do that. Right? If you walk around every single day and you believe you can't get ripped, you're never going to get ripped because you are going to fall to that standard that you place yourself under, right? You tell yourself you can't get in shape and you'll stay 20% body fat for the rest of your life. You're going to stay 20% body fat for the rest of your life. You have to believe you are made for more. You have to believe that you were put on this earth and you have the capability to get to 10% body fat. Nobody can take that away from you. Your genetics aren't bad. You have to put every single effort that you have every single day. You have to put every single effort that you have every single day into building yourself, building your mind, building your body, building your physique, and building the life that you want. You were put here to do something special, to build something special. Your genetics aren't bad. You just have to snap out of that and believe that it's possible. The life that you want with the six-pack, the life that you want, being confident, taking your shirt off every single summer while you're at the beach, starts with first believing that you have the ability to live that life. It starts with you believing that, that's possible for you. You see your friends doing it. You see all these people around you who are able to build an exceptional physique, and you see yourself in the mirror as this guy who's constantly overweight, and that's the person that you identify with. You need to start identifying with the person who is 10% body fat. How does he think? How does he act? How does he move? How does he live his life on a day-to-day basis that has allowed him to get to that lean body fat percentage? You have the ability to do it, but it starts once you shatter these limiting beliefs that you have placed onto yourself and you start believing that you were put on this earth to be more. It's possible. It's there for the taking. You just have to freaking go and get it.